Hello everybody and welcome to this meeting. This meeting is going to be the triannual IEP reevaluation meeting for one John Doe Jr. Prior drafts of the IEP and prior written notice were sent out a week ago. Did you all receive a copy of them? Okay, since we have all received a copy of the IEP, I would like to move on to our introductions for our IEP team, starting with our IEP facilitator, Mrs. Deborah Miller. We then have our special education teacher, Mr. Al Pruitt, our general education teacher, Mrs. Joanna Cornejo. We have therapists for OT, Mr. Dan, our RT therapist, Ms. Crowley, and our speech therapist, Ms. Lynn. We have myself serving as the student educator, and John's mother, Jane Doe, with us today. For today's meeting, we are going to be discussing his test results, which were taken at the end of the last school year, and he scored nearing proficiency in all 4 categories. The test results that we are using will be the New Mexico Standards-Based Assessment, and with his scores being lower than average than the students in his grade. After that, we will be discussing his annual goals and how we will work together to achieve them. We will start with his math scores and goals, then move on to his English language art goals and scores before finishing with his science and history scores. After discussing the scores and goals of John, we will move on to the services he is being provided. We will have a discussion on if we need to adjust the hours of a service he is receiving, the number of services he's receiving, and if he needs to add any new therapies or services to be successful within his studies and his work. We will also be discussing how he will receive his instruction in the classroom, which would be the least restrictive environment. If there's any concerns about his placement, we will discuss them here at this point. But this is a reminder that Grand Cebolla County Schools is an inclusive school district, and they prefer that students receive their accommodation services in the general education classroom where appropriate and where applicable. We will also be discussing whether or not we feel John needs to attend an extended school year. We will have to discuss the factors such as whether or not John retains information over the summer, whether or not he has to play catch up at the beginning of the school year to retain those skills and refresh them, and if he would benefit from going on to an extended school year plan. To make sure that we are in our procedural safeguards, we have to ensure that we are not going to discuss this outside of the classroom, outside of this room, and that we are not going to update everybody with the plans for John, just those who need them. I would like to conclude this video by explaining how I am here to actively listen and address the needs of family and our stakeholders throughout the meeting. How I plan to do this is to ensure that I am listening to all participants, addressing any and all concerns, and working with my IEP team to ensure that we are in compliance with laws and that we are doing what is best for our student. I will also ensure to lock up any materials that we have after this meeting and to store them in a safe and secure manner. Thank you.